my freedom, pulling it off the shelf, putting it on my chain, wearing it round my neck. I'm taking my freedom, putting it in my car. Wherever I choose to go, it won't take me far. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 golden, living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden.
Hello, it's Brandy.
And I'm Keisha.
And we would like to welcome you back to Mamas on the Move podcast. This is now episode number 4.
Wow, episode number 4. Mama, we made it. No, I'm just kidding. We not quite there.
We done made it. We 4 episodes
We 4
in.
episodes in the 400. We ain't going nowhere.
Yes.
We here for the long
here,
haul.
baby. We here.
But at any rate, so let's talk about what happened in each other's week. What happened in your week, B? Anything you want to share with the world?
Sure. Well, my week was eventful, and but we're coming off of a weekend which I just thoroughly enjoyed. We had a family reunion, and on my mom's side, so a couple of my cousins put together a retreat in Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
So beautiful up there,
which is probably one of the most scenic, and beautiful places that I've ever been to in my entire life. So it was amazing, and my GPS took us the scenic route going there because we didn't take the major highways. We took, Highway 441 to some other kind of back roads, which took us through the great Smoky Mountains. And girl, when I tell you, oh my God, we got out and took pictures and just took in all the magnificence that was there, and it was just beautiful. Now, going down those mountains though, I got a little seasick. I got a little car sick, nausea sitting, and I'm like, okay, Lord, just get me to the bottom of this mountain, just let me make it. And I said it was beautiful going there, but I did not want to take that route going back. I want to take 75 going back.
Get right on the interstate.
Yes, but it was great. It was great, man, just to take the time to relax with my family.
So y'all have family reunions every year?
No, we hadn't done that. Now they have been doing family reunions probably every 3 years, and I have not made the last 2.
Oh, wow.
So it's been years since I've been a part of it. And and so it was great. It was great. It was a great opportunity for us to relax and just enjoy each other. We played family games, and taboo, and you mix taboo with alcohol and black folks, and you got a real good time.
It's interesting that you guys have family reunions because we don't have them. Like we don't have them. I think the last family, I mean, they probably have, I guess they not telling us, baby. I don't know. But I know when I get more favors, everybody gonna be wanting to say they my cousin. So it's important for me to probably get to
you need
one.
to establish who's who now.
Who's who now. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Because then everybody will be trying to borrow money and stuff like that. So I definitely need, but it's interesting because I guess my sister, my brother and I are gonna have to start with our family.
It has to start with somebody.
I mean, we're going to have to do that because I mean, it's just us now in terms of our original family. So I think it's super important, and that's interesting. I just thought about, I probably haven't been to a family reunion since I was real little, like 10. I was definitely still living with my parents when I went to my last family reunion. And it's interesting because I found out when I met Daryl, who, my maiden name is Jones.
Right.
And my married name is obviously Johnson. And then I found out that my grandfather, so my maiden name is Jones. I thought that was my maiden name. Okay. So I learned as my grandmother started spending a lot more time with me when she got closer to the end, I start letting her come and stay with me sometimes. And I was learning all this kind of stuff, girl. So come to find out, my last name wasn't Jones. It was something else. I can't even remember because the statute of limitations don't never go away with murder. So what happened was my granddaddy killed a man down there in South Georgia.
Okay.
And he had to leave. He killed a white man.
Yeah.
And he had to leave. So when he
had
left,
to establish a new identity.
He had to establish a new identity. So
girl, that exact same thing happened to my granddaddy.
That
is crazy.
I come from a long, like we don't play no games. It's sad that somebody died. I think maybe possibly. I don't know because back then he probably was treating my granddad a certain kind of way.
Yeah.
For him to feel like he had to take his life. But anyway, they had to change their last name. So what happened was, that's what I found out. My maiden name was Johnson. Okay. So not Jones.
So it was Johnson before it was Jones.
The fake name was Jones.
Okay, so it was originally Johnson.
Johnson.
So you telling me that it's a good chance that you and Daryl could have been related?
Well, I thought about that, right? But by that time, we had already did it, and I was in love, so we was just gonna be cousins. I didn't give a damn. That was my husband. He was gonna be my husband. But that's what I'm saying. So you got to know your people. So that's my point.
Yeah.
When you need to go to family reunions, you need to know your people. Make sure you're not kicking it with your cousin.
Yeah.
Fortunately, DJ is good if we were cousins,
right?
Because that's a small town for both of us had the same.
I mean, you and Daryl both had those light green hazel eyes. Y'all really could.
First of all,
y'all
a lot
really
of people have light color eyes. I don't mean that.
I'm just saying, same complexion. But regardless, DJ came out okay. So I think
as far as I know,
it's all
some
good.
days I wonder. He a little slow sometimes, but hopefully it's because I was drinking when I was pregnant the first 3 months and didn't know it. Not because his daddy is my cousin. But anyway, family reunions are important. That's what I was trying to say.
No, Keish, you brought up a good point, because at some point somebody has to take on either the burden, because it can be a burden planning an entire family reunion, but also the responsibility that you owe to the generations, to your son and his, his offspring. So, and I'm thinking it's going to be, because it was my cousin, my second cousin who planned this, but we're close in age, and it's like, okay, now this is now falling on us. The elders are elder, and they can't do all this.
Yep, they can't.
So so Keisha, it is. That's probably.
But do I
want
to do a family reunion with 10 people?
No, it ain't got to be 10 people.
I mean, even if my brother, my sister,
but even if it starts off small, even if it starts off small and it grows, and as you go to ancestry.com or family.
So you want me to research and bring people in?
Oh no, you need to.
No,
you need to.
I don't like people
I think
like
that's important.
That's a lot.
No, I think that's important to know, because how else are you gonna really know? You know the people within your reach, but unless you dig deeper, you're not gonna find out about those second, third, and fourth cousins removed. That and that's important. You need to know.
Is it important?
I think it's important to identify at least who you have family connections with.
I would put that on my list. My sister had gone to Ancestry and found some people on my grandfather, Zinc White. That's where them eyes come from. He had blue eyes. I don't have them, but DJ had them. But them folks over there. Yeah, so I might look. I'm gonna have Cheney get back on there.
Put that on the to-do list. Put that on the to-do list.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
Within the next three years, say make it a 3-year goal.
Oh, girl, by the time DJ will be in the league, we're not looking for nobody to have to borrow money. But go ahead.
Anyway, I know we got off on a tangent, but so we finished our weekend in Tennessee, and started out eventful, but it ended up a little uneventful because my mother had rode back with my cousin and his girlfriend, and they were about 30 minutes from home on 285, and they were clipped by a semi-truck.
My God.
Clipped by a semi-truck. They were in the middle lane. The semi-truck was getting over in their lane and hit my cousin's car on the driver rear side. And they spun out of control, spun 4 or 5 times, and hit the median. And the car was completely totaled, front end pushed in, the back window broke out, the side, the driver's side door was caved in. And my mother called me hysterical.
Of course.
And of course, I'm like, oh, Jesus. So I head straight there, and the traffic, from the accident, I couldn't even get directly to where they were. So I just met them at the hospital. But I said, my mother was able to walk away from that accident with just back pain and neck pain, no serious injuries. So was my cousin. So were my cousins. And if I had to really give it some serious thought, because I said, they were on 285 spinning on a 5-lane highway, did not get hit by any other cars. You spinning like that at that speed, your car doesn't flip over. Like, it was nothing but God.
Nothing but God.
Like, it was truly nothing but God. So I've been a wreck since that accident, really in my feelings and in my thoughts, like, Lord, you just thank you for protecting my family. And here we are coming off of a weekend that was just so, filled with love and everything else. And enemy just, he still didn't, he didn't steal our joy, because I made reference to this on my Instagram page. I said how I caught my mother Saturday morning. We were on the deck and we were looking at she was on her end, I was on the other side. I was kind of doing some work, and we were just kind of taking in all the beautiful scenery. And I looked over there and I saw her worshiping and praising, and her eyes were closed and she was just in the spirit. And I just took a moment to just record her, because it was just a beautiful moment. I said, my mother is just in it. She is just in the spirit. So I recorded that without her knowing. And I said, oh Lord, I didn't feel any way about it, because I felt it was just so sincere, And then Sunday morning, me and my husband heard her out there doing the exact same thing. And then when we hit the road yesterday morning, and we said a prayer before we hit the road, and, you know, just praying for God's traveling mercies. And I said, you know, and all those prayers, all that praise that was given, I said, I know that was God protecting them in that moment. Because you hear so many stories, I mean, from just people not surviving accidents like that. So it's been a moment. The last 24 hours has been a time that I've been using to reflect on God's goodness and grace and mercy. So I'm just thankful. I'm just thankful that they are fine. Everybody just had some, you know, minor nicks and bruises, but they're good.
Thank God. And you know, it's interesting when anything happens, because of what I've been through and the loss that I've had, I just, when the phone rings at a certain time, or if somebody's voice is raised because they're upset about something, they call me, I immediately go back into that space.
Oh yeah.
I immediately feel like, God, I can't take another loss. I can't take another hit. I can't, like, whatever this is going on, before I even let my mind hear what this person is saying, you know, I just have to go to him, because I can't take another hit.
Yeah,
I can't take another hit.
I understand, Keish.
You know, when you sent the text, you know, last night, immediately I was just like, you know, I just immediately thought about you, because I just read the first part first,
right?
And then I didn't get to where you said she was okay yet.
Yeah,
and I just immediately just stopped and said, okay, God, and then I had to get myself together, because immediately I'm thinking, how am I going to be there for her?
Yeah.
But I finished reading and I was like, oh, thank God. But it just takes you into a space when you suffer losses, even with all the appreciation you have for God bringing you through. I personally still struggle with not going back to that space.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, and that's why, you know, Candy yesterday, when I asked her, what time Riley gonna have to be home? Because everybody went to the Music Midtown this weekend.
Right.
And she was like, well, I told her she finished her homework, she could be back at such and such time. She said, what about DJ? I said, well, I was gonna have him home about 8, 9, you know, tops, latest. And she was like, well, you gotta let him grow up and stuff. And I said, yeah, but you know what? When I said, he's a black boy, first of all, so it's a little different in terms of him being out at a certain time.
Yeah.
And then I said, and second of all, when you've lost like I have, it's a little tough. I'm a work in progress with loosening up.
And that's a challenge, and I've struggled with that.
Yeah.
I've been that helicopter mom.
Yeah.
And even that's part of the reason why, you know, my sons probably drove later than a lot of their peers. Right. Like my oldest son didn't get his license until he was 18. You know, because I chose to be in control still as much as I could. Right. You know, because when you release that, you feel like you're giving. Yep. You know.
It's hard to
you're giving them to the world.
I know
you're giving them to the world,
yeah.
But it's like it is such a difficult thing, because you can't live in the fear that, okay, if I let go, then you know they won't be protected. They're going to be protected whether I hover or whether I don't hover. But I gotta release. I gotta be able to let go so that they can live. Yeah. So trust me, I have the same struggle. Yeah. And I have to deal with those same fears and anxiety and doubts, like, you know, Lord, just are you, you know, because when you've suffered losses like this, like you and I have, you can't help. Your mind is just going to go there.
It's just going to go
Your mind is just going to go there. So I have to train myself in, like, just, you know, reject those thoughts that come into my mind. I have to counter them with things of, you know, I have to say scriptures. I have to remind myself that, you know, God, you have not given me a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So it's like you have to almost saturate your mind with things that are the opposite of those thoughts of where your mind wants to take you.
And I think that's probably my struggle, that I don't enough. And that's why things seep in, because I mean, literally, like, I was on the phone, I was on text with my brother last night, and he made me cry. Like, he didn't mean to make me cry, but like,
Keisha, I said that's why, you know, and it's so important. And because this journey that you're on is a journey. And like you just mentioned, it is a process, and it is a journey. So if you don't have people that will be there for you, to give you that word of encouragement that you need, to give you that uplifting that you need in that time, because it's not easy. It's not easy. And, you know, I think about over the course of, you know, just my life and what God has done for me as far as what he's brought me through. And I think about the people that stand out to me and what they were for me in the time that I needed them to be more than anything else. And I know your brother has been that, you know, and I know we've been that for each other. So Lord Jesus, we did not intend to come
know where
here
this came from.
and cry today, but I just, it just is what it is. And God has really, brought us through some things that, I don't know that you ever fully 100% recover from.
I don't think you do. I think that you just do the best thing, the best you can with where you are now. And sometimes when I get in those spaces, I don't want God to think I'm not appreciative for bringing me on the other side, but it's still a struggle for me.
Yeah.
It's still a struggle because for me, I think the hardest part is that I never got a chance to tell Daryl bye. Thanks, Curse. I didn't get a chance to tell my mom bye. It's just hard when you feel like you just, and so now DJ is getting older. He doesn't need me as much. And I don't want to stunt his growth by holding on too tight.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's hard to let him go. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just hard. But my brother shared some things with me last night, and I was crying. It was tears of gratitude last night because of how he loved my child.
Yeah.
And the things that he's planning for my son. And he shared something with me, and I said, "Oh, that's such a blessing for your boys." And he was like, "Oh no, he's getting one too. He's my boy too." You know what I mean? And it just means a lot to me. But yeah, he don't need me like he used to.
But you know what, Keisha, and I think I'm just in a slightly tad. Well, I am in a different space than you are as far as, progressively how God has taken me from one space to the next. And, my kids are just a little bit older. And the freedom that I'm starting to feel as a result of letting go is a feeling that I can't even describe, because it is a daunting thing to have to put yourself through, to carry the burden and the weight of the worry, that you hold on to. Like that is burdensome.
It is.
It is burdensome.
It is.
So, to be able to say, I just surrender. I surrender, Lord. I surrender, just like you have covered me. You have covered what you've done for me. And Keisha, I look at you and I look at DJ and all the uncles he has, and he does not miss a beat. He does not go without. He is such a fine and strong young man. So you look at what they lack, and that's what I always used to have to tell myself, Lord. I look at what my sons lacked in not having a father figure. Like their dad wasn't there since they were 4, 3, and 1 years old. But I look at the provision that he has made for me and them in his absence.
Right.
Like my sons always had strong male figures in their lives. If it wasn't, their grandfather or their uncles or their coaches, who all had very strong, just Christian beliefs and didn't steer them the right way. And if it wasn't the right situation, he would make provision for me to put them in another situation that was the best situation for them. So it's like, if you really truly just think about just that alone, how he's been blessed from that regard. It's so many women out here who struggle.
I know.
I
do
Keisha,
know, and I get that, and trust me, and that's what I'm saying. I do. I mean, even right there, I told you a couple of weeks ago, I'm like, okay, this baseball team want $3,800. That what in the hell am I supposed to do with that? You know what I mean? With that invoice.
Yeah.
But I always know Jason probably gonna be cursed. Jason gonna be like. He been all over the world. But when you come back, I'm gonna need $750 to go toward this. But every year he gives toward DJ baseball fees and fly. And my brother and I, and I'm blessed because keeping him in baseball, I'm sure it's keeping him out of a lot of other stuff.
Absolutely.
And people want to support people who do well, but I think that I have to work so hard not to go into that space, because sometimes I just want to talk to my mom.
Yeah.
Like some things I'm dealing with right now, I just wish I could have one grown woman to woman conversation with my mom.
Yeah.
So there's some days the voids seem big, but you're right. I'm so blessed, and I am, and I'm grateful. And sometimes when I feel like that, I feel like I'm not serving God and how He's blessed me, because I'm thinking about what I don't have instead of what you just said. And I'm just going to make a more concerted effort of focusing on that. But yeah, he was gone all weekend.
Yeah.
He don't need his right.
And good for him. Good for him, and good for you, because that still was that is a process.
Yeah, it is.
And learning to let go, it is a process.
Yeah, it is. It's a process. Okay, now I don't know how that happened right there, but I guess that was just what
we
I
got
needed
through
to let
it,
that
though.
out.
We got through it.
Okay,
so
anyway, I don't even want to talk about what happened on the bye week, because it was just, I mean, I had a rough week last week, and that may be why I'm still kind of emotional. And I even posted a picture on Instagram, like, don't let Instagram and Facebook fool you. It ain't always rainbows and unicorns, you know. And I had a good week work wise, but mentally I was struggling with some other stuff, and it just took me to that space. But I don't go where I used to go, you know, in that space. So I did good after a few days, but for a few days there, I was in one of them zones. But anywho, that's that on that. We're gonna have to skip right on to the Keep It Real.
We're gonna move into our next segment.
Okay, so this week's Keep It Real, and this is another thing that is absolutely something that I can relate to. Okay,
you and me both, girl.
Yeah, but not like I can.
Yeah,
I don't really
I
need
feel
you up
you.
in here trying to act like you really.
No, I mean it's our situations are similar but different.
Okay, so this week's Keep It Real topic is weight gain after marriage or relationship, you know, commitment, marriage after marriage. And, you know, people want to, has it been your experience? Well, you think I wasn't born in no damn size 16. Well, actually I'm 18, but I'm sliding back the other way. But the reason I wanted to talk about it, because I had a guy friend of mine who brought it up about that happening to him, you know, and he said, am I being insensitive? And I was like, truthfully speaking, I don't think he was.
Yeah.
I feel like if you meet a person at a certain size, you have and this sounds so hypocritical because I'm over here struggling. I remember when I had DJ, right? I went into labor. It is so crazy. Of all the things I thought about is that when I give my stats to the doctor, I didn't want Daryl in the room because I didn't want him to hear my weight. You know what I'm saying? I did not want him to hear my weight. So I had already got mad at him because he fell asleep on the way to the hospital twice. And I mean, the car kind of did like this.
Who was driving?
He was. He was driving.
He worked the late shift.
He did. He had worked the job and he was tired and everything. But, you know, I felt like, oh, okay, just because he already had 3 kids, he ain't really excited about our baby. So I told him, pull the damn car over the side of the road. I'll drive myself to the hospital and you just go home and get you some rest. So we had already went back and forth on the way to the hospital. So we got to the hospital, girl. All I could think is that I don't want him in this room. And she was like, you know, name, you know, blood, asking me all these things. I'm like, she gonna get to the weight in a minute. Damn it, I want him out of this room. So I told him I wanted him to go get my bags out of the car. And he was like purposely waiting to hear my weight. And as she was asking me questions like address and just all kind of insurance, all this stuff, I'm like, the weight got to be coming soon. So when she asked it, I told her, he did like this. He said, And I said, I wish you I wish you would.
You 9 months pregnant,
right,
about to deliver. So.
Right. But at the end of the day, he probably knew I wasn't going to come too much further from that because I was going to, and I haven't. But,
right.
I mean, DJ 17, I'm almost 17, I'm still carrying baby weight. But, you know, at the end of the day, I think that we do have a responsibility to keep ourselves in a certain space. Now, with that being said, as a plus size girl, I don't like guys who just like plus size women.
Why is that?
Because if I like a guy who just like plus size women, he's never going to support me losing weight.
Oh, okay.
And I don't want him to get plus size. I think I'm going to want that. So it's like...
and normally guys who you know, have a preference for plus size women, they're normally lean.
Right. Well, yeah, well, you know.
Yeah, they're not normally plus size themselves.
No, they're not. But well, you're right. However, like I said, I don't really like guys who just like plus size women because he's gonna want me to stay that size, and I have goals that I want to meet. But at the same time, I don't want you with me about my weight.
But then on the flip side, Keisha, what if he likes you at that size? What if you get with him and he's like, oh, here you are, you know, 40, 50 pounds later, looking like a crackhead, but I liked you fluffier.
Fluffier? You come up with some words, don't you? Kirsten just fell out. Fluffier, really? That was your way of politically correct saying? Okay, all right. No, okay. No. Well, if he likes me fluffier.
We've gone here before. Fluffier, thicker, you know,
it's
voluptuous.
Voluptuous. There we go with that Gary, Indiana.
It's an M in voluptuous.
No, it's not an M in voluptuous. It's voluptuous.
VOLUMPT.
And it is not volump. I'm telling you, it's not volump. Google it. Oh my God. Now see, that's a prime example.
But you know what? I did win a spelling bee in 5th grade, so I'd be shocked.
Okay, well that was 30 years ago. There's no M. It's voluptuous. I am voluptuous, so I know how to spell it. Okay,
Voluptuous.
They know
Okay, voluptuous. Okay. All
Okay,
right.
so but anyway, what I'm saying is no, I don't want a guy who just likes plus size women. But and then you're right, you do have the situation. I've seen stuff on Dr. Phil where a girl lost weight and the husband don't like it, but I think it's because they be insecure. They see, I'm not no like. Let me be clear. Let me just is this on? I am not the plus size girl that you gonna be taking out, putting in the corner in the dark or ask. And I'm not the girl to hold the girls' purses when we go to the club. I'm a bad girl. You know what I'm saying?
And no,
I
yes,
carries it and I
without a
holds my
doubt.
own.
Yeah.
However, but a lot of men, a lot of women who are plus size feel like they can't get a guy unless they are making them feel like they're on the pedestal.
Right.
Like I went to the Hawks game one time, me and DJ, I'll never forget, it was two big ass girls. Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that. I said I wasn't gonna cuss today. It was two really big girls. They were beyond plus. They was on the other side. They was like what I always say, I'm in dangerous territory.
Yeah.
They had passed dangerous territory. And so they were like, they had two good looking guys with them. And I said, dang, I was like, okay. You know, I was kind of shocked. And they was on, because we were like right behind the floor seats and they was like right there. And I said, they got good seats and this and that. So the rest of the day, I couldn't even focus on the game because I'm trying to see what this relationship is right here. Honey, every time somebody came down to pay for stuff, she would pull it out her pocket. Oh, here you go, baby. I said, okay, there it is right there.
See,
so you know what I'm saying?
That's not right.
I'm not saying that's for all big girls, but a lot of them be out here paying for it, like real talk. So I'm just...
You are crazy.
I'm just
You are
saying,
crazy.
I don't, because that's why I ain't got nobody. I don't pay enough. Maybe they come up to me thinking they gonna overpay for it. No, I ain't at that. I'm like,
But to the credit of a lot of, I think it's becoming more and more accepted. From what's the lady's name? Gosh, and she's on IG. I follow her. Now she is a Caucasian woman. She was just on the cover of not Vogue, but
Ashley.
No, not Ashley.
I mean,
she's almost she's super
Ashley
super
Graham.
Heavy. Yeah, she's super super heavy. I can't. Her name starts with a T. I can't.
And she was on the cover of Vogue?
It wasn't Vogue. It was another really high profile magazine. I almost want to pull it up. Her name starts with a T. Okay. And she has tattoos and stuff. But
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
I do know exactly who
but
you're talking about.
her what is the word that they use now to kind of describe self? It's not self acceptance. It's anyway. But there's almost a movement as far as that's concerned about really. Looking within and starting to appreciate yourself at whatever size that is.
I get that, and I think
I get it, but you also don't want to encourage people to remain a weight which is unhealthy.
And at the end of the day, let me just say this, because yes, I mean they got a whole organization called the National
What?
They have an organization called the National Advancement. Not for colored people, that's the NAACP. It's the National Association for Fat Acceptance, like NAFA, or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Something like it's called NAFA. I think it is the National Association for Fat Acceptance. It's just on NAFA or something like that. I'm not trying to be a member of that. Okay. And I would be honest with you. If I could wake up tomorrow size 10, I would do whatever the hell I could. I'm gonna be honest with you.
So you think most women who are overweight,
I do.
They do.
Yes,
they do.
I think most women that are overweight do want to be smaller. And I think the women who say, girl, I'm, this and that, we do that because we have to overcompensate. Let me speak for me.
Go ahead.
There are times that I have felt like I have to show that I love it like this because I got to. I mean, I sell for a living, for God's sake. Yeah. So I have to show confidence. But I kid you not, it just does not serve you well to carry so much excess weight.
Yeah.
I mean, literally to the point where this year, for real, like last year was probably my heaviest weight when I got ready to get ready for your wedding. That's why I had to go on that drastic, But I found myself, if I knew people really didn't like the house, I was yelling down to the basement, what you think? Because I'm not trying to go up and down all the stairs. After a while, your knees, it's not healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that most people who are big don't want to necessarily be that. And if they could find a solution that would not let us be hungry, because I start every Monday until about 1 o'clock, and then I get hungry. But it's tough, and society. I don't think society is becoming more accepting. So that's why you see so many people getting surgery and all that kind of stuff. And that's the other thing. If I get surgery, I'm gonna tell y'all, I am not going to be like, I just started walking by backyard and walk around the track knowing I had gastric bypass. That's why I respect that chef that had it. He's been sharing his journey.
Darius Cook.
Yeah. And he looks amazing. Yeah. And I appreciate him because I thought about it, as you know. I thought about having it several times. I'm just scared. I'm just scared I'm going to die. That's just about like when me, you and Kate had lunch. And she was like, why won't you have it? I was like, if I, God forbid, died and I left my son by himself because I couldn't control what I put in my mouth,
That's strong.
I can't do. I'm gonna just keep trying this way for a little while. And I ain't saying I'm not gonna have it.
Right. But you just
But
saying
I'ma let
right
him
now
graduate high
how
school.
you feel about it right now.
I feel like I'm in the right place because I can do it when I put my mind to it. I mean, I did it. I dropped 30 pounds for your wedding, but I got comfortable after that, you know, and just kind of picked it back up. And so I'm doing it again now with Corey. He's a great trainer, but I got to get the food part in. I haven't been doing that the way that I should. But yeah, I don't think a person should have to stick with something. I don't necessarily say you should divorce a person. I think you should try to do all you can to help them and motivate them. I don't think you should be disrespectful or rude or mean, because I think some people do that, you know, degrading and stuff. But at the same time, I don't feel like a person should have to, you know, if that's not who they met, that's not what they were attracted to. And your body changes a lot.
But then, I mean, on the flip side, you can say, okay, if it's not just weight gain, I mean, when you make those vows, it's for better or for worse. And I'm not saying that you can't help somebody to work through their challenges, whether it's weight gain, whether it's sickness, whether it's, you know, loss of a job. Like, they're going to be, I mean, marriage is challenging. You know, marriage is challenging. So, you know, but that's funny because that conversation came up with me and my husband, even while we were engaged. And a good friend of mine, you know, she and I were having a conversation about, okay, well, what if, you know, your husband, she talked about her husband, if my husband gained 40, 50 pounds and had a big gut, and she was like, I don't know that I would be attracted to him the same.
I mean, it's just, that's,
you know, so can you love somebody through something versus, you know, being attracted to them in that space? Those are some heavy conversations, because reality wise, I love you enough that I'm going to be there for you while we struggle together. I mean, because no lie, like me and my husband both put on some weight. And we are now recommitting ourselves to a better lifestyle and eating better and all that good stuff. But on the reality is, like, okay, if you know, I've gained a significant amount of weight, so my body doesn't look the same. Right. You know, are you still attracted to me the same? So that's and when you lose attraction, what else are you losing?
Opening up for a whole lot of other stuff. And I'm just telling you right now, these heifers in Atlanta, these heifers in Atlanta ain't gonna wait. They probably ain't gonna wait.
They snipping and tucking and doing everything they can.
They doing everything they can.
They man attention to everybody else.
And everybody else is, yeah. So I don't know. I think that's a tough conversation. I mean, it's a great topic. I personally, as someone who has struggled with my weight, and I did not lose the baby weight from DJ. I definitely kept it, because, you know, for me, I mean, I met Daryl and I got engaged just a few weeks after my mom was killed, and then we got married 6 months later, and then I got pregnant with DJ within that year, and then next year we had to go through my dad's trial. I had a lot going on. It was in 3 years. I went through a lot, so I tend to turn to food. And I never forget, one day I was trying to get ready to go to court, as a matter of fact, and I went to put on what was my favorite suit, and it wouldn't come past right here. And I asked Daryl, I said, why didn't you say something to me when you saw me around here gaining all this weight and going? And he just said, I mean, I just wanted you here. Like, I was just hoping you hold on just to live after everything you've been through. So he didn't say anything, but I don't know if that necessarily helped me either.
No, but and the right person, I'm saying, should love you through those. Like, it's not like you just decided. You had some very traumatic experiences that you were dealing with, and I mean, as a result, I'm certain that's why you gained a lot of that weight.
I get that's why I gained the bulk of
that's
mine.
where you gained a lot of that weight. So, you know, for better or for worse, I mean, he did the dutiful thing by loving you through that and being there regardless of, you know, so for him to come to you and say, you know, baby, you putting on a little weight, and not be sensitive to everything else that was going on in your world. Right. That I don't know, that probably wouldn't have
been the answer either for him, bless his heart. He probably couldn't have won either way. But I just, you know, I don't know, B. I think that's a good question though. Do you know, ask everybody, do y'all think that a person should stay with you through? I mean, yes, it's for better or for worse, but that's something that's something that you, I don't know. Is better for worse mean fat or skinny?
That means it all. That covers it all. Like,
I don't think you should be able to let yourself go like that.
You shouldn't be, and that's what I'm saying. You shouldn't be, but typically there's a reason that plays into you letting go.
Yes, it is. That's true.
Like the adjustment from being single to engaged to married, I mean, can cause, being in a blended, having to work through the kinks of being a blended family.
That blended family,
that's a lot.
Stress
is a mother. Stress is a mother.
Yes. Girl, I was not prepared to be nobody's stepmother. But anyway, that's another topic for another day.
Another topic, yes.
But anywho, So anyway, that's how I see that, and so you said you and Ryan have committed to, and see that's the step I think that should be taken.
No, it should.
You both have
It
taken
absolutely
and committed to having a healthier, eating healthier, working out and stuff. I've been seeing you run pull beanie up that hill, doing your sprints and stuff. But yeah, the stress is a lot, and I mean it's just hard because everything just tastes so good.
Girl, yeah, no, trust me, you know I had the same issue. I love food.
Yeah.
Now here was something else I think we need to touch on. How do you tell a friend, not just a space or a spouse or a significant other? How do you tell a girlfriend
That she's picked up weight. Oh, girl, you need to lose some weight. I mean,
that's so easy for her. Now me on the other hand,
oh Jesus, we know, yeah.
And I'm getting better. I'm having more and more fierce conversations as every day.
Yeah.
But that would be a difficult. I mean, I just couldn't like you, Keish, but you have already acknowledged that you know you need to lose weight. So it's like
you went in. Well, let me say this: you went in pretty good on me the other night.
What'd I do? Oh no, and I owed that to you.
Okay, so clearly you don't have no problem with me. So why would you have a problem with anybody else?
Well, I haven't really had to experience that, but I'm just saying. Okay, so
I'm your only fat friend. Is that what you trying to say?
No, you in my immediate in my super tight girlfriends. Absolutely, you are my I'm not gonna say. No, see you. Why you have to say it like that? I'm your only fat friend.
I'm your only big friend.
No. You're not. You are my only bigger friend. Okay, you are my only bigger friend. But listen. I mean, all of my close friends are athletes. You know, like Tracy. Tracy is my other best friend. And Tracy, she and I both gained a lot of weight, but she done lost, Tracy lost 40 pounds this year.
Good doing that keto diet.
She lost 40 pounds this year in 1 year.
You gonna do the keto and the low carb, that should come with some handicap bars to put in your bathroom because that protein backs you up. I'm telling you right there is no way to do a low carb diet without needing some. You need handicap bars.
No, trust me,
it's a serious matter.
I feel you. But no, I'm gonna tell you why I had to get on you, because when I know that you committed to certain goals, and she and I, me, her, and Miko were at our favorite spot, the Black Cheers, which is Baltimore crab and seafood, and we had committed. We had this conversation even before we went in there that we were gonna still do good. We weren't gonna drink.
Right.
We were gonna do good. So I ordered my salmon and vegetables, and she ordered, what did you order?
I think I had, what did I have? I don't remember what I had.
But anyway,
I had salmon. I ordered salmon too.
She had salmon too.
But we said we were going to split an order of wings.
Yeah, so we said, you know what, both of us, because their wings are amazing. So we said that we were going to get an order of wings and we were just going to split them, right? So we did that, and then Miko ordered some extra wings.
Right, but Miko had some wings off of my plate is what I was trying to tell you.
But
you just went in with one. You jumped in on both feet without knowing because you was on the phone.
No, but see, you ate my share because I only had one. So you ate
Miko ate mine is what I'm trying to tell you.
But I'm still telling you had more than what you were supposed to. So I had to check her, and she dipping in Miko macaroni and cheese. And I'm like, what are you doing, man?
I had a stressful week. I just told you I had a very stressful week. Okay?
I'm sorry. Somebody got to hold you accountable. So I was counting them calories for you.
You did. You definitely did.
Yeah, I was counting them for you.
So to tell a friend, I think it's much easier. I think it's much easier to tell a friend than it would be to tell a spouse or to have to hear it from your spouse. But I think girlfriends have a responsibility to be honest with one another.
Yeah.
I mean, they do. And I don't. Nobody told me as they saw me gaining the weight back. Not now one of you have. No, but sometimes I think y'all do that because y'all like me being the only plus size friend.
Now you know you're wrong for that.
I'm just being honest. I think that real friends. And matter of fact, that's a bone I got to pick with all of y'all. So you, Aaron, Ming, Kim, Roseberry, all of y'all that I hang out with, Renee. Y'all should have said something when y'all saw me picking it back up. Y'all was all happy when I lost it for your wedding, but nobody said anything when y'all saw me picking the weight back up. So I don't know. I question whether or not y'all are really my friends.
No. Listen, because let me tell you about yourself though, because you start diets frequently. You start diets very often, like every other week. So how do we know when it's like, okay, she really all in this time, or she just bull jiving?
Well,
so don't do us like that.
I guess I had the discipline to get ready for your wedding, and now I got to get ready for mine that's gonna come in summer 2020
around the corner.
Yeah, but I think it's more difficult to tell. Definitely from a spouse, but no, I think after a relationship, you just have to work hard to try to keep it together. The couples that I see who are both fit, they work out together.
Yeah,
they make a conscious effort to do it together, and I think important. That is definitely
that's important.
And it's another time for you guys to bond. So that's the thing. I think somebody said, should your partner feel obligated to love you no matter what? I guess.
I mean, we gonna say yes.
Well,
on
the
that
next
one,
one
okay?
to get me gonna love me no matter what. Honey, we ain't gonna be no divorce, so it is what it is. So yes, I do think they should love you no matter what. All right, so our next segment. I sound
Segment.
segment.
Mhm, zone
Segment.
4.
You said zone 4. Ish, my kid did this week. So what did your kids do this week?
You know what? I'm gonna say what my kids didn't do, because this weekend they both had commitments. You know, as far from a athletic standpoint, but both had games this weekend. And normally, like I told you, we've missed our last couple of family reunions because we had tournaments. We had all kind of stuff going on. So I was proud that I was like, you know what? We're going to cancel everything else. So what they didn't do was play in those games that they were supposed to be at.
Okay.
And we went to our family reunion this
Good.
weekend. And they had a good time. They had a good time bonding with their cousins and just relaxing. I mean, kids don't get to relax that much.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah.
these are our young student athletes. They are always on the go.
Yeah.
At a tournament, at a camp, at, you know, just at games. Like they are always doing something. So it felt good for them to just relax, play their games, and just enjoy each other and enjoy their family.
Yeah, they do keep a very tight schedule. So I woke up, the ish my son did this week. I woke up Saturday morning to what I thought was a house with DJ and I found out I was by myself. So he had a scrimmage at 8 o'clock in Alpharetta. Now, I did remember him telling me Chandler, who is my nephew, was going to come and get him. But, you know, I have so much in my brain. I didn't know. So I woke up to text him when I realized I woke up late because he was supposed to be at the field at 7. And I text him like, hey, you know, you're supposed to be at the field. It didn't go through because my phone had got cut off. Okay. So I had to call T-Mobile because what happened, DJ had my phone on PlayStation with that freaking Fortnite. I canceled that card, but it was the same card that took care of my automated payments on my
you
bills.
forgot to switch it
so I
over.
forgot to
Yeah.
switch it over. So I had to call, get it turned back on. So I'm like, let me go ahead and wake this boy up. Girl, I go in there, he ain't in the bed. I'm like, what in the world? So I start calling. He not answering the phone. Chandler not answering his phone. I called Edie, who is Chandler's mom. She was like, well, I think they together. I'm like, okay, this is a shame that between the two of us, don't nobody know where the kids are. Simp was refereeing, so he didn't answer his phone. So now I'm starting to panic a little bit. I called the coach because I figured that's where he was, but I still didn't know.
Yeah.
So I texted him and was like, when he finally texted me back, I was like, hey, I was playing. You cannot just get up and leave the house without telling me.
Right.
You know, he was like, well, it was 6 a.m. I didn't want to wake you up. You'll wake me up if you want money. You clearly had money left over. So I'm like, it's just little stuff like that you just don't think. And he said, it's just so hot out here. I said, well, make sure you drink something because I don't want you pass it out on this beat down you're going to get when you get home. What time you going to be at the house? I told him I was going to give him a whipping. But he just, you know, I appreciate the fact he's independent. I just said, you just still need to let me know when you leave the house.
Yeah.
I said, if no other reason, I didn't know I was in the house by myself from 6 that morning when you left to, you know.
And he should have, or he should have texted you the night before. But I'm gonna tell you something else, where this freedom thing comes into play, because we're so used to being hoverers,
right?
You know, we're so used to being helicopter moms. But my sons have practice 3-4 days a week now. In the morning, they have to be at Westlake at 6 o'clock. So they get themselves up at 5. They, you know, get their clothes together, they fix themselves breakfast, and Chase drives them to school. I'm not waking up that early no more. I don't have to wake up that early.
No, you don't. I mean, I agree.
But I'm gonna tell you, like, it feels so amazing.
But you started doing that when Ryan came on the picture. Let's be clear. You fell in love and was always working with your boo.
But even when
you
I was with
doing
him,
all that with Ryan.
no. But I'm telling you, it wasn't even like that then. Chase just got his license,
right?
So I've been a hoverer, and my husband has helped me to see how I've had to lighten up some, because he said this to me, and he being sympathetic towards my experiences and understanding why I'm a hoverer,
right?
You know, so he has been sympathetic to that. You know, he ain't really kind of forced me to. No, he's kind of allowed it to kind of progressively happen naturally.
Right.
So it wasn't just when he came on the scene. No, it took me time. It has absolutely took time for me.
It's a process, man.
It's a process.
It is a process.
It's a process.
And I don't think I realized how much it was. My sister was like, what in the world are you going to do when he go to college? But again, it's not just me. It's all the baggage and the backstory and all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, so he did that, and he went to Music Midtown all weekend, all Saturday, all Sunday. So I'm telling you, he better have a 110 on that freaking test today, because I had asked him. Yeah, unless you talking about he will. Okay, he better have it. But you know, I had told y'all that he was doing great in public school, right? Mm-hmm. Next day, I got an email. Your child is either failing or in danger of failing. I just asked him the day before that he need a Spanish tutor. Oh no, I'm good. It must be the way she teach. This teacher younger and she's Spanish. I think I can get it better from her. And all this kind of foolishness. And the very next day I got an email. I said, DJ, you got me out here lying to these folks. I'm thinking you doing well. He's like, and then so he goes back and forth with me on the text, and he was like, I wish you would just stop doubting me. That's what he texted me. And I was like, I'm not doubting you. He said, but you are. You do. And I was like, ooh, that hurt.
That's
you know what I
strong.
mean? That's strong for my child to say, you doubt me. I always, you worry about the middle and I always finish strong. That's what he said. He is my child, and it coming back on me is the hardest thing in the world to deal with. That mouth. I be wanting to just like, but yeah. So
he preached a sermon on that one. He did. But it's tough. It's tough
hard.
because
It's hard.
And Chase is my special middle child who would dig himself in a hole, but then pull himself out. And I'm like all over his butt during that part where he's has dug himself down there.
Right.
But he does. He always managed to pull himself back out. And I'm like, if you would not allow yourself to get there, just imagine, with that same effort,
But some
where
people
you would
just
be.
operate that way. They operate like better under
work
pressure. They work better under
pressure.
pressure. So Chase must be one of those that work better under pressure. That's all I can think. Because it clearly, the boys got a full ride to Clemson, so he did something right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you did a lot right as a mother. Like real talk. So there's just. Girl, I'm telling you, you are my mama on the move. And I'm not kidding you when I say that, like real talk. You are. Because I many a days I said, if Brandy can do it with 3, and we ain't even at the mama on the move, but we had
Well,
one.
let's just
but
go right
I'm
on
going to
it.
say that I want you're going to be my shout out for mama of the move this week, because so many times I know if I'm getting it as your friend, what those people who follow you and people who see you through social media, but it was a whole lot of times that I kept going because of what I saw you do with your boys. Because I'm telling you, I was like, if B can do it with 3, I really don't have no complaints about this one.
Yeah.
But it's a lot when your kids are student athletes.
Yeah.
It requires a whole lot, just the driving alone.
Yeah.
And then we drive for a living in
Yeah.
terms of taking clients out. But the way I watched you build your business, to maintain everything that you have done, actually have grown since you got married, just like you inspire me. You motivate me to keep pushing in that way. Like real talk. Yeah, you do. To this day, DJ wouldn't be playing baseball if it were not for you. You tricked me, because that first time you said, well, just let him come out. I had no idea he would go love it. And now he loves baseball, because there is nothing that could have got my child up at 5:15 in the morning to be somewhere, to be out of the house by 6, to be in Alpharetta by 7.
Other than something that
that he
passionate
loves
about,
and he's
that they wanna
passionate
do.
about doing, and to watch him grow in that sport. And I'm a proud mom, but I have to say that you really have given me the inspiration and the motivation to keep going. Even the prayer you sent me this morning, because I'm going to, this event that we're having Wednesday. I done tried to quit 5 times. You and me. Miko told me she didn't say nothing positive. She just said, goodbye, have a good day, ma'am.
And I said, you know what? Let me follow that back up, because
God, 'cause you
she
know
needed
me,
to.
know me.
I know
Yes,
you know you. I
yes,
know
yes,
you,
yes.
and you needed to hear those words in that moment. But Keish, you know what? And I appreciate you saying that. I really do.
That's my mama of the move.
I appreciate you saying it, and I that's why I feel it's such a good feeling right now to be able to just, relish in the fruits of your labor. And knowing what you've invested in. And because I think about Chase driving him and his brother to school now, but I think about when I was the one that was driving an hour commute to take them from where we lived on the south side to them going to school in Sandy Springs every morning. So we'd have to get up at 5 o'clock, be on the road by 6:15, and but that was every day. That was 2 years every day that I did that commute. And then I would go into the office and work, but I had to leave my work day stopped by 3 o'clock, because I had to go and pick them up to take them to all their respective practices in different places. And I'm like, man, that was a lot.
It's a lot. I think about it when I go into Decatur, and I think about driving DJ to St. Thomas More for 3 years.
Yeah.
Leaving South Fulton and going all the way to downtown Decatur.
Yeah.
And then leaving from there to go to St. Pius, because that's how the sports work with the Catholic school. Middle school, you have to go to whatever school it feeds to. For high school, that's how they do the sports, because they don't have sports in middle school. It's a lot. But I think about, like, one of my guy friend, he was telling me, he said, but Keisha, do you know how many mamas are sitting in court? spending thousands on attorneys, just wishing they would give anything to just have a kid that want to play sports and be passionate about that, and opposed to being sitting in the courtroom with them.
Yeah.
You know, because so many of our boys are struggling and going through things. And when I was at Lake Point the weekend before last, it just did my heart good to see Miles and Lawrence and, you know, all the boys who have come up with us, Webb, and, you know, all our boys that have come up and they're just doing so well. And some of them got, you know, some that he's played with, you know, got led astray.
Yeah.
So to see the ones that have actually continued to stay dialed in, it means a lot to me. It warms my heart, because when you play sports, you are a community.
Oh man,
it's a culture, and all of them are our babies.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
They
but
really
you,
are.
as one of my best friends, to see what you've done with your boys coming through, you inspire me, because I'm telling you,
So, but you know, this was part of the reason why we did this, Keisha. Like this whole Mamas on the Move thing, because you know, like from it to start from a hashtag, you know, Mama on the Move, like, because that's what we are. We are in constant motion, like if not with our work, but with our children's, with our families, like we are always moving. So you need a network and a community of women that you can lean on or look to for inspiration, because it is a struggle.
Yes,
it's a struggle to manage and to balance and to do everything that we're doing. So this labor of love that has now, you know, is blossoming, and we get so much from it, and it feels so good to hear women leave messages, you know, about, wow, you all inspire me so much, and you know, now I see you do it, it helps me see that I can do it too. So that's what it's about, Keisha.
Yeah, it's definitely,
you know, that's
a
what
labor
it's
of
about.
love.
It is absolutely a labor of love, but to know that, you know, we are nearing, you know, it's not, I mean, it's not going to ever end, you know, parenting.
It doesn't.
But, you know, but we've worked so hard for such a long time, and we're, you know, just to nurture them and invest in them how we have. So it just feels good to say, I mean, your baby a junior. You got one more year, and he out the door to college or MLB, wherever God's path is going to take him. But you've done your part. Yeah. So I know it feels good to reflect, even in these moments where we still have to deal with knucklehead teenage selves.
Right.
But you should always look at the fact that, you know, you have done a tremendous job with him. Well, and so, you know, you my mama on the move just as much as I'm your mama on the move.
Well, I appreciate that, Ben. You know, it was nice to have him gone for a while, so I had me a second date, girl. I have to tell you about that later.
Yes, we like second dates.
Yes,
honey. We get closer to this big thing that we've committed to in 2020.
It's nice to have a little bit more time to myself, so I can do some of the things that I want to do. Because next weekend we'll be back at the baseball park for a tournament.
But don't you deserve that?
Absolutely,
and you know
I do.
Keisha, you have to give yourself permission.
Yeah,
you know,
you do.
Because as mothers, we will take on tasks that we probably shouldn't even. You know, we'll create some tasks to take on.
Exactly.
You know, like that we could relinquish to somebody else, but no, it's like, no, I got to do it. I got to do it. So if pat yourself on the back for taking the time to do something for yourself and go out on this second date, and DJ gonna be just fine, okay?
Yeah, he is.
Because while he's out there doing his thing in a year and a half,
right,
you're gonna be able to sit in the house twiddling your damn thumbs, wishing.
That's what I was doing a lot of weekends. Like, okay, DJ's gone, and I don't have nothing to do. You with your husband, and everybody's doing their thing. And it's like, okay, I don't have nothing to do. He's not here. So that's what started making me make a more concerted effort. Like, you got to really put yourself out here and stop being so closed off.
Yeah.
And it was nice to have grown conversation with a man that wasn't my brother or none of my guy friends. Okay, I was like, okay, it wasn't DJ. It's like, you know, so it was nice. It was really, really nice. So yeah.
Well, good for you.
So
girl.
that's that on
good
that. So it looks like
that's about it for this episode.
That's that on that,
that's
right?
that
I'm sorry
that.
for crying, y'all. I don't know where that came from. I think I'm the only one in the room that's actually premenopause. I think I'm kind of having some definitely personal summers.
Yeah.
So I think I may be going through the change a little bit or just before. But that I was just full this morning. So I know we're here to inspire y'all. So hopefully my crying didn't depress y'all too much. I'll try to take a Wellbutrin before we tape next time.
A Wellbutrin
on my tongue, honey. Yeah, ain't nothing right like a Wellbutrin on your tongue. Keep them things level, honey. Yes, God. Make no mistake about it. Don't let nobody tell you nothing wrong with a little peel on your tongue if you need to get through. Anyway, until next time.
Keep moving, mamas.